It's been 2 weeks. I know you missed us, and this episode of Star, you do not want to miss it. Plus, we have a special guest next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Mad ethnic
Hey,
right
I
now.
know you. Wait, we gotta have the Rihanna breakdown to welcome us back.
Don't get me started with the
What? Millie, rockin'.
No, okay.
Hey there, welcome back to the Star After Show. I know you missed us. We've been gone for 2 weeks because of the World Series, and the Dodgers had the nerve to lose.
Okay, but
And preempt us.
I was rooting for Houston though.
Oh, anyway, okay.
I was rooting for them
Next
because they've been
topic.
going through some
Yeah, well,
Houston
okay.
needed that W. Just one
Houston
good
needed
time.
that W. Welcome back to the Star After Show. I am Jill Munroe. You can follow me everywhere on social media at Stiletto Jill. And of course, I'm not alone. I'm here with my panel mates. I've missed you, ladies.
We missed you, and we missed AfterBuzz TV. Lovely people who watch Star. All I gotta say is I missed y'all, and the watching baseball made me so mad because I just needed to know what was going on Star, and I found out tonight.
Right.
That's
Did you find
Shawna.
out
That's
tonight?
Shawna.
Oh yeah, I'm Shawna, and you can follow me at Shawna O everywhere. Obviously, I'm excited about the episode.
Yes, and y'all haven't seen me for a little bit, but I am back. My name is Raquel Harris, and you can find me on all social media at Raquel Harris TV.
We are here for
Yeah.
episode, is it 5?
Yeah.
5. May the best manager win. But if you watch this episode, you know that it was impactful. It was meaningful.
It was sad.
It was sad.
It was emotional.
Okay.
It was very emotional. And a key pivotal point of that was the character of Lucky, who is Noah's
Best friend.
best friend from way, way back.
Yeah.
Well, the actor who plays Noah, Terrell Hill, is here with us via
Yeah.
Skype. And welcome in, Terrell.
Hey.
We're getting him on the line right now. But I mean,
It was crazy. Like it's having something where I think here he comes.
Wait a minute.
Terrell is Terrell's in the house. Why am I jacking stuff up? Terrell's in the
okay.
house. Hi, Terrell.
How you
Hey
doing?
everybody, how you guys doing?
We want to welcome you to the Star After Show. So,
How's it going?
right. How's your
I
night?
mean, it's going pretty crazy right now. You guys saw the episode, right?
We
Yes.
did
Finished
just
the episode, and it was epic, and I am in awe of what happened.
We
to
have
your
all
character.
these emotions going on. We just got to know you. I'm thinking we're about to ride out with
I
them,
know.
see what Lucky and Noah were like growing up, and, pivotal moment.
reality
Yeah.
kicked in, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I was so excited when I booked the role, and then when I found out what happened, I was like, oh man, that's gonna be heavy.
Right.
And I think the saddest part was when we all wrapped that episode. I just knew like, oh man, I'm probably not gonna be back here as much as I probably want to go, But it was a lot of fun shooting the project, and I'm glad that I got to tell a story like that. I felt like it was important, especially in the political climate. It was special to be a
Yeah.
part of.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
I think you did an amazing job.
You
We
did.
all applaud
Thank
you
you.
because it is difficult. I'm sure when you were rapping that, you were thinking, wow, there are people who they don't get to just rap and go home. They actually have experienced this. What was that like? Did that weigh on you?
I mean, man, I want to tell you, I don't want to like out somebody's story, but there was somebody very high up on set, I'll say, because I don't know if this is public information, that experienced police brutality to a very severe form. And literally right before we were shooting that scene, he was telling me every graphic detail about it. So naturally, it was easy to kind of portray the anger.
Yeah.
I was listening to the story. But even as Twitter, everybody's talking about why do you have to go? Why do you have to go? It was storytelling at the end of the day.
Right.
So it was really cool to tell the story, and I'm glad everybody received it well. They're not like clowning me. They're not talking about the performance was bad.
No way.
No.
Nobody would ever clown you. And you got to be around some great people and to do some
Oh.
networking.
Yeah, and so many discussions got brought up off of that, just
one
alone. I mean,
scene.
when they talked about how it doesn't matter what you're wearing, police brutality can happen at any point in time, no matter what your image looks like. So I think that's something that that message needs to kind of go across the board, and police need to have better training at the end of the day.
Right.
Oh yeah, and I'm glad I was the person who was allowed to tell that part.
Yes.
It's important. It's an important message. So Yeah, I'm just happy. I'm happy everybody's receiving it so well.
Yeah.
Okay, Terrell, so you have so much going on. Tell us a little bit how you got this role. And after that, I want to talk about all the things that you have going this fall, because you're literally everywhere. How can we be like you?
Right.
Okay.
I saw that you had to sadly turn down some roles because you're
Right?
too busy. Is that true?
It's all God. God's
Okay.
really had my back. I stay prayed up, and I try to stay as faithful and just stay as focused as I can on my goals. I got this job, of course, by auditioning. It wasn't handed out. It was maybe my second or third audition for Star. I auditioned for some smaller roles as the season progressed, but when I booked this, I actually didn't think I had a chance. The description of Lucky was so different from me. Like, even when I showed up to the director's session, everybody was like huge with beards, and I'm like,
You said, look, I'm clean shaven, but I'm cute.
Right.
oh, no.
And I can
You
portray
know,
it, okay?
swag doesn't matter. You don't have to be mammoth.
Right.
You can have
Well, I
that
mean,
menacing element and still be in a small package, smaller.
Right.
I was grateful. Billy Woodruff directed the episode, and as soon as I walked in the audition, I knew who he was. My concern wasn't booking the gig; it was really just not looking stupid in front of Billy Woodruff and George Pierre. So I'm glad that that was accomplished. And I go about that like every audition. I never really focus too much on booking. An actor's job pretty much is to get up and be told no most days. So if I focused on the ratio and stuff, I'd probably go crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a message.
I
of
think
the
it's a
film.
lot easier to operate when you just focus on trying your best and letting the rest just fall wherever it's supposed to fall. And because of that, to segue, I have booked a pretty good amount of projects this year, and there are a lot of things releasing in the next few months that I'm very excited about. So
Me too,
We're
by
gonna
the way.
let's just give them a list. We have Bad Moms 2, the
got-
Christmas one, right?
that just came out.
you-
I was in
you
there
got
for a minute.
Acrimony.
Yep. Tales on BET.
Yeah.
You have the finale
Yep.
coming up. What else?
Acrimony with Taraji P. Henson, my girl. I
Ew.
love her.
Yeah.
Just booked and busy.
Okay, give
and
me
dropping
more.
gems about how to be positive going through a negative space that is auditioning. I mean,
Yes.
that's imperative. So, okay.
I was gonna say we can't forget to mention that we don't want to discount you and let people know that he's usually a comedian. Like, he's always doing funny stuff. I watch you all the time with your girlfriend Lauren. She's amazing. She's a beautiful singer. He actually sings too. I mean, like, you're just multi-talented.
Listen.
Well,
I
I
don't sing
mean,
well.
I've heard you sing with Lauren before, and it hasn't sounded that bad. So maybe she's just making you sound good. Is that what that is?
Look, you
Or
got
you know
all
how to sing.
avenues.
It's probably all her.
Well, you know what? Anybody who gives their girlfriend the credit is good with me.
I
Yeah,
mean,
multiple.
it's actually my wife now.
Wow!
Oh, wow, congratulations.
Come on, ring. You gotta show the ring off.
Come through.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Okay.
that's singing. That's all her. She's actually on Broadway now.
Amazing.
And most of the roles she books are usually cameo spots because of American Idol. She booked Greenleaf. She booked a couple other projects where she had to sing. It's just, she's moving. But yeah, we just try to stay as happy as we can most days.
A power
I'm so
couple.
Right.
I'm so
Do you feel
happy.
like it's easier when you have someone who also works in the industry because they understand how like what you're going through?
It depends on the person and the industry. I think it works perfectly for me and her because when we met, we were in college.
Okay.
And I was actually pursuing behind the scenes production, and she was the person that was very sure that it was just on stage, on camera, and she had been training since she was like 10. And I'm not a trained actor. I've trained behind the scenes, of course, in
Could
film
have fooled
school.
us.
But it just kind of like naturally fell into place. So when we started to discuss interests and kind of merge things, even when we were dating, she was on tour. She was on tour with Motown the Musical, and she was also on Idol. So like,
Very cool.
it was kind of easy adjustment.
Yeah.
'Cause she's in New York right now isn't like something that's gonna faze me, and it's a lot of communication. So we're just trying to lay a foundation. So
Absolutely.
I think you guys are doing an amazing job so far.
Yeah, for
Thanks
sure.
for sharing those tips for
Excited.
anybody who's
Right.
in the business who might want to know about that.
Yeah, I want to know. So, what time does your when you get up in the morning? What time is it, and how does your day usually go? Since you're so
It's
booked, I
typically-
have to know.
Okay, it's typically 4 a.m. I'm typically up at 4 o'clock, and I spend the first 2 hours usually listening to podcasts. It could be inspirational, or it can be Christian podcasts, and and usually the TV's on mute because I'm playing the Xbox, just my me time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of blend the two so I can focus on one. And then usually by 6 I'm in the gym for a couple hours, and I come back, and if there's work to do, like I'll be filming The Quad this week and then Cobra Kai next week. So I'll be studying lines throughout the day or auditioning. But other than that, it's just trying to stay positive, and
That's awesome.
that's pretty much it.
Now you said that you said that your character Lucky was so opposite from you. Through portraying him, did you find any type of relationship?
It wasn't that he was opposite from me. Lucky was a relatively easy character. It was more so the way he was being portrayed. Like you saw, Ayana was referring to him as a felon. Mm-hmm. So going into it, he was supposed to be perceived a certain way. So like they allowed me, after clearances were gone, to show my tattoos and wear kind of baggy clothes and kind of give that TV gangster kind of look, But I ain't really. I wear sweats all day. I don't really.
Sounds like me.
It was real cool. They let me drive the Wraith, and that was really. And they let me. I'm wearing jewelry I can't afford. Driving cars.
Neither can Alex.
But you know what? That's just a glimpse into your future.
At all.
Right.
But it was still cool to be a part. You know what I mean? And experience that car.
Stars in the roof.
Right.
With Lucky.
Well, Terrell, we are so thankful that you decided to join us here. You have so much going on, and it was a pleasure to hear you drop those gems, things that we can take away in our various points in our career. We hope our our viewers can too. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Okay, so at TerrayLE _ on Instagram and Twitter, and then Snapchat is pretty much my first name without the underscore, so it's Terrell, TerrayLE. Awesome. And that's it. You search me on Facebook because of how it's spelled, I'm gonna be the only one. So yeah, it's easy to find me.
Awesome.
Well, thank you again for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you
so much. And we look forward to
a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. And we hope, we'll see you again.
No, we will.
I know.
Blessings and prosperity. I can see that he's going to be everywhere.
Right.
Yes.
We knew him. We saw him.
Right. Don't forget the little people when
we
you're
got the
done.
scoop about him and his wife.
Right. I'll tell y'all whatever y'all want to know.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Terrell.
Have a good night, Terrell.
Good night.
Wow, how lucky we were.
I know, right?
Positive interview. I enjoyed that.
Great energy. He had amazing energy. Mm-hmm. He was great in his performance, and to learn that he's not, hasn't been studying acting for that long, but obviously is killing it to keep getting these roles and appearances. It's inspiring, right?
Yeah. And to see where his strength comes from is clearly a foundation of love and God and good values.
Yeah.
I like that feeling.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Christian faith. Okay.
Yeah. Played into a lot in this episode.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Exactly.
Or what was needed, let's just say that.
Right. But before we get into this episode, the recap, we have a live read for you, and it's from ZipRecruiter. So, in need of a great talent for your business, but short on time, you don't have to get lost in a huge stack of resumes to find the perfect hire. You just need the right tools. Smarter tools, actually. And with ZipRecruiter, you can post your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards with just one click.
Well, that's why ZipRecruiter is different, because usually you have to do all those clicks, but you don't have to do that this time, because unlike other hiring sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on the right candidates finding you. Basically, they find you. They find them for you. So you're going to be doing no work.
Helpful.
Actually, I have used ZipRecruiter myself before, and it's the smartest way to hire.
And no wonder that 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. So if you want to find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by growing businesses of all sizes and industries to find out the most qualified job candidates with immediate results, please log on to ZipRecruiter.com/buzz.
Ow.
Ow.
Yeah.
ZipRecruiter, hit them up.
Get a
Right.
job.
Okay, right?
Make it easy for
Be
yourself.
employed.
It's the smartest way to hire.
Okay,
You know?
because it's getting cold outside and we all need to get clothes. Okay?
Absolutely.
Period.
Instead of cuffing season, just get a job.
Oh, right.
With
Get those
ZipRecruiter.
checks, those residual, the revenue.
All right, ladies, let's get into May the Best Manager Win.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh my God. So, where do we start?
I mean, first of all, I just need to talk about how the fact, like, I didn't know what the intro was. Like, I didn't know if Derek, like, knew about the baby, that she had aborted the baby, or what. Like, I didn't know where that was going. But then later on, like, they're hugged up. I was kind of confused.
I think that they were just getting us ready, leading off for something. So we're going to go back to that since they kind of teased us at the
Right.
open. Let's start with, we finally get to meet Ayanna's dad.
Yes.
Floyd Crane. And it was played by the legendary actor Richard Roundtree from the OG 70s movie Shaft. Obviously, he's done a lot of stuff in the, 40-some-odd years since
Okay.
then.
He
It's
was
legendary.
Also, he loves playing dads because he's the dad on Being Mary Jane.
Boom!
Oh,
there
is that
it
the
is,
dad?
too.
Okay,
See?
I had
Look
to
at
make
there.
the
The other
connection.
episode, just in
Family.
case y'all ain't watching.
Catch up with her. So he comes in and he's talking to Ayanna. He's obviously, when we last saw him, missed her party to debut the artist. She's trying really hard to prove herself, that we discovered, to try and be a daddy's girl. She's the black sheep, the lesser of the children.
Yeah.
We don't know how many brothers and sisters she has, but clearly
Right.
there's a couple, and she's the least
weakest
favorite.
We
The
thought
weakest
she
link.
was mean, but he's mean.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Like,
right.
he even knocked her down to the side.
Okay, and straight up said, "Is this where my money is going to?"
Right.
Like I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, how do you come up in her studio? And clearly she's doing okay because she let him know, like, we just signed one of the biggest artists, that's out right now. Why are you not happy? It's just, and I feel like parents kind of do that to you naturally. Obviously, he's an extreme case, but I feel like your parents are always the biggest, like, critics of your life. So, I mean,
Trying to get you to live to your best potential.
okay,
Right.
your best life.
Thank you for seeing that from a mom point of view. Because
Yeah.
that's all it is.
The best
For
life.
mom and dad.
Right,
pretty
But
much.
I don't think that's the case with him. I think that he is just never satisfied. I saw a string of narcissism in this show.
Oh, wow.
I think he just cares about himself. He's just like, this is not enough for me. Okay, so you have one big artist. You could have all big artists.
Right. Period.
Yeah.
And so, we understand a little bit more about why Ayanna is a little uptight, a little confused and things.
And sorry, I just really briefly, can we talk about how I guess Noah and Star have, like, they're starting to get, like, very, very cozy. Because they had
Yes, they are.
the studio scene where they were, going at it, and then she ends up covering up the camera because she's like, I don't want our relationship to be public. It's just about sex. And he's trying to, like, really, like, get into her soul. Right. Like,
He's trying to really be with her.
Right, exactly. And he's like, look, I don't mind sharing you to the world. He's telling Lucky about her. Like, I mean,
Right.
it's just all over the place. But she's like, I'm just not in that space to be able to give you that type of emotion.
I think she's right this time, though. I think that we're still, 5 or 6 months after whatever drama just happened with
Right.
Hunter. She's trying to get focused. Her dad just showed up. Brody's back. So,
Dads love to pop up in, I mean, I know we're not at that point, but dads love to pop up in the
worst
audience.
time.
What is
Oh,
with
in the
that?
audience.
Yeah, like, what's up? Like, first season, you have the foster dad who clearly has been stalking people too.
Right.
And then he pops up in the audience, and
I
now
think
we
it's
have a lot of
TV thing.
pop-ups.
I think it's a TV thing because on other shows you'll see the person and they're singing to them or they're talking to them. They just need a moment for you to be able to come face to face with that person where you don't have to actually be in the same space. I think.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I wanted to touch on Star. I disagreed with, even though let me not say I disagree. Let me just, because I do agree. I just think that there's more to it. I think that Star is just withholding. She's just very like, I just don't want to give you
She
what
has
you
her
want.
walls up.
When a guy doesn't want to be with her, she wants to be with him. When they don't want to be with her, she's like, I could treat you like whatever. I want to make sure I'm in control here.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like I understand why Star is acting like that because she came from a tumultuous relationship with Hunter, and her trust is a little. I mean, it's always been a little, shaky, but she came from such a bad situation with Hunter, and now she's kind of getting involved again with somebody else, and it's especially somebody who's a big name again.
Right.
So it's like, I understand why she doesn't really want to give her all into something, especially when she's so focused on her music career.
Right.
So I mean, it's unfortunate that she's kind of dealing with that, but I get her. I understand. So
So, while we're on the subject of the music, Hail is up to his old tricks.
Yeah.
Of course.
He shows up at the label for his meeting, last time we saw he and Ayanna, they linked up in a bar randomly, but not randomly, wink, wink. Right. And she told him to call her. And he did, and she's shocked that he showed up there so soon. Why? Did you tell your assistant to hold that meeting? I didn't really mean it.
Yeah.
I think that she didn't want for him to steal Andy, his new name is Andy now, but Angel away from her. I think that she was trying to get the goods. She heard the voice, she heard the producing, and she was just like, okay, well, I can do something with him. And then Hayel heard the voice and was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm gonna keep him for myself.
Right. And Andy doesn't really like Ayanna, so it was like kind of perfect.
So yeah, Andy took it upon himself to seek him out, head to the trailer, and revealed that he's a singer too. I mean, I think that happens. I used to work in the music industry, and there would be some of, the people that work there that want to sing, rap. There's a couple of DJs. So, you gravitate towards to get your foot in the door whatever way you can. You know, if I can get in and work at a label, I can see what they want and find somebody to manage and produce me.
Absolutely.
I might be humming while I'm steaming.
Right.
And then Star,
you might discover me.
Okay. And then Star had made that little slide like, oh, well, everybody sings now. And I'm just like, girl. I mean, and which is kind of true. You always see somebody randomly coming out of nowhere like, oh, I sing and I sing and I sing and I also rap, but I also write and I also produce. And it's just like, okay.
But it's like, where's
we
your
call
material?
those slash hoes.
Oh,
you
that's
know,
a new term.
I'm a model
I
/ actress / rapper / singer / fit tummy tea model.
Right, okay, booking information in my bio.
Right.
Those slashes are no joke that you just had.
Right.
And so we're at the trailer and Angel shows up and Hill to take claim to his music. Now, we all knew that Hayel probably jacked him for his music, but what made him show up today?
I think he was coming to say, you know what, you stole my stuff, so now I'm about to sing to you and let you work for me now. Because Hayel saw stars in those eyes. Those eyes got big and you could see his criminal mind
He hit
turning.
that falsetto.
Well, his eyes are big for another reason, so.
Oh, right. Well.
Okay.
You know,
Hayel hasn't quite kicked his habits yet.
At all, because he's just tweaking.
Poor Hayel.
Literally.
He just can't stop doing the white girl.
Oh,
you gotta stop.
I can't with all these jargons for these little names. But yeah, no, I mean Hayel.
Listen to E40.
Oh, I can't. I know, but Hayel, it's interesting to see his journey because I feel like he's just on this roller coaster of just his life, his love life, clearly, and I want him to get better, and clearly he has talent. That's the thing about it, is that he just doesn't know how to focus and get it all together and put in the energy that he needs to. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I just hope that he kind of pulls through, and we kind of see later on that he did with Andy
and Angel, the new group.
Right.
You know what I think that's interesting to your point? I think maybe this might be different for him because he's never, to our knowledge, worked with males before.
Absolutely.
He's always worked with female groups, and we know that a lot of times that mix can be toxic for a variety of reasons. We saw what he did last season, playing them against each other and those type of things. So maybe it'll work out more this time.
But what I will say though is that he's still up to his old tricks, like you said, because he's still even using the same language that he used with Mary and Carlotta. He's still using the same language that he used with Star in the group, which, by the way, new name. Okay.
Oh, shout out to Take 3.
Take 3.
I'm gonna tell you that Take 3 is better than Big Trouble, but still not good
enough. It sounds like a 90s bubblegum pop group or something.
Take 3.
I'm not feeling Take 3 as much, but I Big Trouble.
I immediately went to the candy bar. You know, the Take 5.
Oh yeah. What do you guys
went to
think
the
in
gospel
Take 3, yes or no?
acapella group Take 6. You know, Monique Slaughter's daddy from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Shout out to them.
Shout out Take 6. But why are they doing that? Like, I feel like I voted on Twitter and I said something different, Star.
I guess they didn't take your suggestion into hand.
Right.
Take 3. Okay, that's a good place. Let's talk about this performance. Now, Take 3 looked amazing, but obviously everyone was really tense. Yes. Brody, Star's dad, has been popping up a lot. You know, Simone, we know Simone is going through her paces. We saw her lose an important person. Jill was right. Can we just stop and address that once again? And shout out to you who tweeted me about this while we were off, that I was right about Simone.
There's a hashtag, y'all. If y'all didn't know from last season, there's a hashtag that Jill was right.
Yeah.
And, Jill is always right. Even
Not
today,
always.
while we were watching the show, she knew Do you have a plug?
You know,
She writes for the show low key.
Low key, she must be coming up with these plots herself.
Lee, holler at me. But
Okay.
anyway,
But I was gonna say with the performance though, it was such a heartfelt song, and they were all speaking to someone who they are being hurt by or is hurting them, or not hurt by. You get what I'm saying, y'all. But what I saw was, because Simone, we've seen that Simone has lost Karen, or Karen is being transferred out of the center where she is. And that's who she was speaking to.
Right.
And then you see Alex is obviously speaking to Derek, and Star, the dad comes in and she's directly speaking to her dad. So I felt like that song was pivotal for each of one of the girls, and I like to see that, and I love when writers kind of put that in when it's like a song that relates to each singer. And I thought Alex was gonna fall out though.
Me too. Let's talk about Alex.
Yeah.
So Alex discovered her little klepto ways. You know,
Okay.
she showed up at the shop. Her normal sales girl wasn't there. It was the manager.
But why? And I was thinking to myself, why did they have the black girl come in and check the black girl?
Because she knew she wasn't going to play today.
Well,
She
I
came out
think it was
and
a couple of
flipped that hair.
things. The bracelet went missing.
Right.
They checked the video. They know, oh my God, that is
so-and-so's mom.
Crane. Yeah,
Or
that's Crane's
daughter.
daughter.
But she wasn't arrested. I mean,
Because they probably didn't call, because what came out was Carlotta had been doing the managers here for 5 years. They know she's wealthy, so here's the thing. They know they can go to her dad or her mother
Right.
and, get that money back, or they can get the merchandise back.
Yeah.
or is it worth losing all of their business
Correct.
for this one little mishap that I'm sure little young rich kids go through all the time. No offense to any young rich kids who are out there. I still love you if you're an AFTERBUZZer.
Okay. But what stood out to me was the fact that we've never really seen Alex go through a depression.
Yeah, and be vulnerable.
She's always the one with all the answers, and she has all the connects, all the clout, and now she's at this stagnant point of her life where it's like, I just don't know what to do. And you're lying to your boyfriend, you're lying to your team, like she's just all over the place. So, and I felt like she did a great job portraying that through television, and so it's nice to see her kind of become a little bit more diverse with her character. So I was Ryan Destiny, shout out to you, because I love seeing you on screen being Alex to her fullest potential.
Yeah, peeling the layers back.
Yeah, we're starting to develop Alex's character, and so and I think that's something that's so important to let people know, that it's hard when you're trying to take care of someone who is a paraplegic almost, and I guess I just want to know like what happens next week, because Derek, I guess, doesn't know that she's gotten the abortion.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have known something was wrong when she was like, I want to pray.
Okay, right.
That was serious business, and it
But
was
I'm
so
glad
hard to watch. Though.
I'm glad Carlotta invited her to church, because that here's the thing. Some people feel like are afraid of religion or look at church as kind of the boogeyman, because they feel as though they're always being condemned in those
like
situations. It's a lot of pressure. And Carlotta is just like, just be still. And we
Yeah.
all need that moment sometimes when we're going through things, just to have a moment for ourselves and just
breakdown.
breathe. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
And not just breathe too, but also to cry. 'Cause
Absolutely.
crying is cleansing.
It's
Yeah, it is.
releasing.
And if that's what you need to do, maybe you need to journal. Maybe don't get me started,
Okay.
you guys. But at the end of the day, I do love that
Self-care
Alex,
is important.
it's
TLC.
important for you, and for you to also take a moment away, like just literally remove yourself from other people so that you can figure yourself out, because that's what I think Alex needs to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her being there every day with Derek like that is not it's too much on her, and then she has to deal with her own demons, which are poor thing. She needs to really forgive herself, because she claimed herself as an atheist, but if you're searching for God, you must be at a very dark place.
Right.
Yeah, okay. And which is very common in the industry for people to not really be of the faith, but you know.
think so?
I think it's very common. It's very, especially with artists. And I went to an art school, y'all. Everybody was either agnostic or atheist. Like you wouldn't really see a lot of like Christians or people who were of some type of religious background. So I mean, I think when you get to a certain understanding, I guess, of life, or you feel enlightened to some degree, or you get some type of knowledge, you kind of feel like you know, but at the same time you don't have all the answers, so you can't say that you don't believe. You don't know, but I don't know. And I say the same thing for Noah too.
Yeah.
I felt like Noah, this was a moment or an episode that was dedicated to Noah's character as well, because what I liked was that he was helping everybody this entire episode. it was just, go ahead. No.
I just want to shout out Simone in the chat who said that we need to be Tyrese's therapist. Tyrese definitely needs some help. Shout out to the Reverend from season 1.
Okay, Harris,
we see he's still going through
I'm sad that they
this.
had him being a reverend and giving out advice, and now he. You know what?
Listen, I don't.
I believe in the Lord, and He's watching me. I better be quiet. I like what was said here that says, I thought she was gonna say it after she prayed, though. These writers need to stop playing.
I know, stringing us out. We're ready to get to it.
And then
Stop
why are you gonna pray and not
us.
say it? You in the middle of praying, the Lord is protecting you. Go ahead and get it out.
Hey,
is that what's going on?
Yes.
Okay, so we see, Lucky rolls up to the showcase to see his friend, and as he rolls up, which is something that has happened, and we've actually seen this theme we discussed last season. We had the guest on as well, Danielle. That was her character's name. Yeah, who was a victim for Black Lives Matter
and police brutality.
Yeah.
And I knew exactly when we started seeing the scene. As soon as I saw any blue and red, I was like,
oh, here we go. Well, I mean, as soon as I saw him reach in his pocket, I was like, oh no, this is where this is going. It's the turn for the worst. And unfortunately, it just upsets me that your first reaction is to shoot.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, hey, put your hand down, or at least put your hands up.
You don't have a taser. I mean, these are all my questions. I know that you are protecting yourself, that it is a scary situation. I cannot imagine not knowing what is going to happen, and you're putting your life on the line for us. But at the same time, there has to be other training measures, as you mentioned, that are not life-ending. Severely hurting, maybe, but life ending is permanent.
Well, and it's they mentioned it in the show too. Why, no matter what, and Andy had actually talked about this, no matter what you're wearing, how you look, if you see a black face in a car, I'm pulling you over because I just don't believe that either that's your car, I don't know where you're going, and it's like I have to question what you're doing in this area or what have you.
Specific term for it, driving while black.
Exactly.
It's real. It's a real thing. There's real rules. People think some things are rules. These are just like social rules or whatever.
It's like said without
keep
being
your hands
said.
on the wheel, you know what I mean? You're not going to, if you do have a nice car, you need to make sure this is not the day you need to be forgetting your registration and things like that.
Right.
Like all of things that come along that other people don't have to worry about.
And unfortunately, Lucky was on probation and he didn't let the officer know, and that was his excuse for, as soon as I pull you over, if you are on probation, you're supposed to let me know. And he's like, well, you're supposed to let me know why you're pulling me over. So you're not doing your job, and I'm not doing my job, and now I'm dead because it gets taken to that.
That's not funny. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. No, I mean, I mean, like, I'm dead because of this. But did you guys notice that? First of all, before I say that, let me just say I'm a CPR instructor, and CPR saves lives. I didn't see anyone try to administer CPR to him whatsoever. If this ever, you ever have to be in a situation or around, don't just video, although that is necessary these days. Do CPR. Okay, that's enough of that. But I also wanted to say that, I'm sorry, it's right here. Oh, they bumped heads. He was supposed to tell him, and the cop was distraught. The cop was like, I thought he had a gun. He was like walking back and forth, pacing, putting his hand on his head. I like that they gave a human feeling to the cop too, though, because not saying that I'm empathizing with the situation as much, but
I mean, as we just said, it's
a person. This is a person who has a house, a home, a family. He's probably like, oh crap, like what's gonna happen, So I thought that was cool that they showed that,
which is unfortunate because I would love to know what was going in his mind, because if this was a white man, would you have felt threatened, or would you have felt like I need to shoot? I need to have my firearm, because what police are taught is you pull your firearm out, you shoot to kill. Period. That is if you're drawing your gun, that's the situation. That's what's gonna happen. And if anything, my thing is too, police, if you're gonna shoot somebody, maybe take his leg out, or like shoot somewhere, where it's not like it's not fatal. Instead of like, okay, well, I'm just gonna shoot him in his chest and that's it, because if you're drawing your gun, you're that's it. Like, and I don't know why you even want to be a hashtag at that point. Like, your name is gonna be everywhere.
So obviously Lucky's shooting and death had an impact on everyone this episode. Noah especially. We saw that Noah at one point earlier in the episode was comforting Alex as she was going through her things in the studio, and they obviously have some type of bond and chemistry, even though we see he's really, really into Star.
Yeah.
Something is there though with those two, whether it's going to be a genuine friendship or whether it's
the
going to be
music or more.
Right.
Yeah.
And when Jill says or more, we all go, okay, because she be right.
Because she writes
You
for
know,
the show.
maybe. But it also affected Ayanna because she went immediately to the PR moment, but then once she realized what she had just witnessed, I mean,
Can you imagine?
you can't take that back.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what to do if I saw someone get shot in front of me.
That close. That close. Yeah.
And it's someone that you know,
Right.
and someone you also told that person to stay away from, and now forever he's no longer going to be with that person. And it's
He called her a B. He called Ayanna a B and was like yelling at her. And I think that also affected her because she looked at him when I think that moment that you're talking about right now washed over her, and she was just like, oh my God.
yeah, it's unfortunate that we live in a world where that is such a prevalent issue.
Yeah.
But
And unfortunate for Ayanna, she decided to take comfort up with the first available man who happened to be
because
Hill.
he's always available.
He's
Right.
always available.
When he's not getting
Little
washed.
suavemente.
Okay, because when he's not getting washed up by Carlotta, he's out here thotting.
Thotting and bopping.
But what
okay.
happened to Lottie, Hahil? Now you over here kissing and hugging on Ayanna.
Let's be clear. Hill is paid for play.
I believed in him. I believed in him.
I got this new group. I'm managing them. I'm producing. We saw him and Carlotta get into it about the group. And I felt like we talked about this before we came on the show. I thought he had an excellent point. You told me to stay away from Take 3. Leave them alone and find my own group. And I did. Part of it is my family. And now you're still mad.
Well, but it okay. I think what
Still mad.
Carlotta's mad because it's like, why are you doing this where because it's going to be a direct competition with Take 3.
Right.
So you're doing it, but you're getting in my way. Find your own avenue. Like, I mean, I agree with you. Like, I feel like, well, you did tell him to have his own thing, but you're doing it where it directly conflicts with my girls.
Here's the thing. The only thing, though, is that fell into his lap. He actually was seeking to get his music placed.
True.
So, you know, am I going to say no if $1 million falls in my lap? No, I'm going to say thank you very much. And is this tax-free? What's up with it? So,
Yeah.
I
Give me more details.
You're right.
But what I will say, though, is that he was wrong for bringing up Lucky's death within the conversation to say, like, life is short, seize the moment, let me do what I want to do. This guy just died today. I mean, it's like, whoa, a little too soon. I mean, his body is still right outside. You know?
Right, I'm sure it is still outside.
I
Literally.
mean, I need you to get it together, Hayo, and use another example, number one. And number two, I can somehow speak to the fact that he would have never known about Ayanna. He had no idea. He came out there and basically jumped on. That's just like me saying, okay, girl, yeah, I just got this new hookup. And then you're like, let me call him on the down low and get hooked up. Don't do that. You better come through me so I can get my 10%.
But they weren't going to give him 10%. They were very clear about that. He tried to come through them first.
Oh, yeah, that's
okay,
true.
let's talk about the end of the episode because plot twist, even though I saw it coming.
Oh, yeah.
Brody in his room, Star came to see him to let him know once again.
But before that, Brody goes to Star saying like, hey, because, you know, Simone the entire episode has been trying to get closure from the dad.
She's been open.
Yeah. And Star's been like, no, girl, you don't need to mess with him. He's bad news. I know this. You don't remember from our childhood, but I do. So Brody meets up with Star, and Star's like, look, if you hurt my sister, I'm going to kill you. And he's like, well, I'm sure that you would.
The way he said that, I knew evil. And did you guys hear a tinge of something scary in... You not remember, but I remember every little thing.
I'm wondering, was he not a pedophile as well? We've had a couple.
I didn't want to say it, but there it is.
That was just what surged through my head when that came up. I was like, please, God, no, I don't want to see
any more of that.
Yeah.
But it could be also physical abuse.
True,
I mean, stuff
true.
like that. Like, first of all, there's a show called Mindhunters where they get into the mind of, like, criminals and stuff like that. And it talks about how, like, it all stems from mother issues or father issues.
Yeah.
And Star definitely has daddy issues. And I think, now I'm starting to think Brody got some.
I'm
definitely
sure.
evil.
It's a generational cycle.
Yeah, usually is, especially when alcohol, drugs, and those type of things are involved. So, you know, he and Star have it out again, and he goes back into his room, and who's sitting there chilling?
Do you think he was recording
Arlene.
At the dough.
Yeah.
Arlene.
at the door?
In there, wig askew.
I know. It looked like she was turned up, like sitting in that
Like,
chair.
It looked like them two have a little something going on.
right, he's probably in there partying with her.
He's probably in there rocking them socks.
Right,
Oh.
because somebody has to be funded. He's in a nice hotel. I'm just saying, wasn't he in the penthouse or something?
He's got the VIP special.
Right.
Wow. So you mean to tell me this guy is in like against his own daughters? Like he's trying to plot?
When you're messed up in the head, you just don't care. And he's been messed up for a long time, so it doesn't surprise me.
He's so sincere. He really had me fooled though.
No,
And money can do a lot of things for you.
Okay.
Can make you a great actor. Can make you
lawyer.
elicit a lot of sympathy, anything.
Period.
I think this is a good spot for us to go into predictions.
Our music.
There's our music, yes.
Now,
We missed
your
you.
AfterBuzz TV
And now.
predictions.
I'm trying to think of what is this segue?
Say it started with you, Rocky.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess from what we see with Alex and Derek, he's gonna throw her out, and she's gonna be kind of distraught. She throws the jab, saying, you know, I'm tired of rolling you around. I do think that they're gonna get back together. I don't think that that's going anywhere. I think Star is gonna end up catching the dad in the works with Hunter's mom. I think Andy and Angel are gonna be heat.
They're gonna
protectors.
pop off.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah, especially with the Latino and ebony flavor. I'm here for
Yeah.
it. The song
Loving
was
it.
cute.
Both attractive
Both of them.
guys,
And
you
Ayana's
know?
gonna pay more attention to them.
Right.
Because she already doesn't really care for them, so it's like, oh, this is easy. And she said that, oh, she didn't know that her assistant was like could blow like that.
And did you see? Well, she said she knew he could sing, but
Right, but not like not
and
like
we
that.
saw how she looked at Star when Noah was out there trying to be booed up. So
Okay, but yeah, and then I mean you got Diana Ross's son.
But she's not trying to go for the vanilla love. She's looking for the black love.
okay.
Okay,
I'm telling you, that's what's going on here.
okay. Well, you go.
So and what other predictions
Right, so
do you
I'm like,
have, my
segue into
love?
your predictions.
Right, let's go.
I am
She
sorry.
right for the show too.
It's clearly because I'm ready for the show too. I wish, believe, baby. But all I'm saying is, Ayana's not down for the swirl love. She's like, forget
okay.
it. She is down for the black love. She feels like that will represent her Motown feel
Label, I got
a
it.
little bit more. She's all about anything that causes a buzz. And
Yeah,
so I
because she
think
was in the cut.
she was in the cut watching. And I
Yeah.
think she's gonna try to create a relationship, a fake reality show type of relationship. You know, publicity stunt.
Yeah.
I think she's
What I
really
thought
gonna do
Cardi
that.
B and Offset was, what I still do. But
Do
anyway,
you? Do
I
you
do.
really?
I do. I don't believe it.
Right?
I don't. I mean, I think that they like each other, but I think that it definitely started off as, who can we be a power couple? Like, and you know, maybe some things that they'll never get married.
Well, I see
Just
somebody
my
in the chat
opinion.
talking about Alex and Noah. Alex and Noah are going to be the new Jay and Beyonce. So maybe we're talking about power
Oh,
couples.
ambitious.
Right.
Right, because that's popping up next week too. But
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She loves that, and so she's gonna do that. I think that Carlotta is about to be completely done with Hail.
Yes.
She doesn't appreciate walking in and seeing him nasty on top of Ayana.
In
She
the
should be- girl,
office.
in
Y'all
the
not even in the.
office.
in the next 2 episodes, she's gonna be washing him up in the tub again. Period.
She forgives him so much,
She
you
should,
guys.
right? Hey, you know, when you gonna start? When you gonna clean up? Never,
And
Carlotta.
The last but not least, I think that Alex is finally going to get it out about the abortion, and Derek is going to be upset, but he's going to forgive her. I mean, how could he not? She's been washing his booty every day.
Okay.
You better reach back there and see how far you can reach, and if it ain't far enough, you better forgive me.
Better yet, was
All
trying
right.
to get you out the system when you gave up on yourself.
Yes.
Period.
Indeed.
Point blank. I mean, you
Yes.
can't fault her for wanting her career. I mean, that's crazy.
It's her life,
But
it's
you
her
know.
body, and I feel for her because she feels completely racked with guilt. So I feel like she's going to find some closure there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Ow, that's a lot.
That's
we have
a
a
lot,
lot to
sorry.
look forward to. I mean, we had a lot to come back to.
Yes.
And
Thank
it's
you guys
only
for staying with us.
episode 5.
Right.
So make sure that you are back here with us next week for episode 6. We in the house. Now we in the building. We're not going anyplace. There's no more baseball. So we're here
Thank
at
God.
least until the end of the run of the
Yes.
first half of the season. So I'm Jill Munroe. You can follow me everywhere at Stiletto Jill. Rocky, where can they find you?
You can find me on all social media at Raquel Harris TV.
Same for me, Shawna O at Shawna O.
Make sure you are liking, commenting, and subscribing. Make sure you are following AfterBuzz TV Dramas, where we're at now. I think you know that by now, but just in case you didn't, subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.